Good day, happy travelers. Vacation travel hacks here. Today, we are going to talk about the logistics to get you from the airport to the cruise port and talk about free excursions and review some paid excursions on the 7-day itinerary for the Sun Princess. Starts in Rome, terminates in Athens. That's a great start. That's a great finish, and some fantastic stops in between Naples, Santorini, Istanbul, Mykonos. Let's hop into it. Let's talk about getting you from Rome to the airport, to the cruise port safely. All right, so here's Rome. We got the airport down here, we got Rome over here, and we got the cruise port up here. The airport looks pretty close. You're like, hey, man, that's probably a 20-minute walk. It's about a 45-minute drive. It's not like a direct road. But it was about a 45-minute drive to our hotel right up the road from the Colosseum, which is almost city center-esque. Now, in terms of, hey, when should we get here? On all of our other videos, we say, hey, you should probably get here a day before. On international cruises, here it's a catch-22. You don't have to get here the day before. Most international flights that leave in the day, leave night and arrive in the day. I mean, outside of some mechanical issue, let's think about things that could go wrong. Weather isn't necessarily a big issue on flights that leave at night. Normally, that's a day thunderstorm thing. Possible. I mean, you still want to do it. I've had no problems catching a cruise flying in the day before. But this is Rome, and you're starting in Rome. You're not finishing in Rome. I spent 3 days here. It wasn't enough time. Honestly, if I spent 3 months here, I don't know if it'd be enough time. So you'd have to figure out, hey, what is it I want to do, if anything, before I go to the cruise port? And you got the Vatican, you got the Colosseum, you got the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain, Circus Maximus. So you just got to figure out, hey, I kind of, my mantra is, by how long can I take the bus tour? So the big red bus has a tour. It's 3 days and it has a night tour included in the price, and it was fantastic. And it takes you to all the stops, hop on, hop off. Wi-Fi was even on it. So that's kind of the recommendation. You can go less, you can go longer. As a matter of fact, the other best practice is to check out international airfare. And for a lot of the dates, you can probably get good airfare rates. So if it's cheaper to fly in 2 days before and the difference is sizable, and sometimes, hey, listen, on these international flights, the difference between a day or two here or there can be $700, $800 per person, and that's just for economy. So anyway, long story short, just, it really comes down to what date are you planning to leave? How many days do you want to be there? And what's the difference between being there 3 days versus 2? And does it justify the food and board? One last thing, the Mercure near the Colosso is where we stayed. It was fantastic. It's where we always book to stay, and they have a package where breakfast is included. They have a restaurant on top of the building, and like you're eating dinner and you're looking at the Colosseum. And there's few things. Honestly, I've been on many trips. There's few things better than a dinner in the shadow of the Colosseum. All right. So, but in terms of logistics, there's lots of private transfer options. There's a train option. I'm not much of a train or a bus guy. I'm more of a private transfer guy. So got a van, and it was very reasonable. As a matter of fact, your hotel concierge can arrange that for you. Otherwise, Viator has lots of transfer options, highly reviewed transfer options, and it was pretty reasonable. $100 to get there, $100 to the cruise port, and actually from the cruise port down to the airport was another $100. But we're a family of 8, so if you get a smaller car, it could be a little cheaper. And that was 100 US. At the time, the euro was $1.50 to the dollar. So now I think the dollar is a little stronger. All right, so hey, this is Rome, and I just in case you've never been there, I'm telling you, 3 months wouldn't be enough time. There are things to do in Rome. And Princess offers excursions. Rome on your own, easy Rome tour, Rome on your own by an express train. That's not too bad. Then you got the Rome hop on, hop off bus tour, 9.5 hours. That's $140. Late riser to Rome. Then you got the St. Peter's. Same. Oh man, make sure you wear something to cover your shoulders. Just dress appropriately. You just can't willy nilly walk into the Vatican. There's it is a holy place, and there are some rules to going in there. But there's countless thousands of things to do. So I'm just scrolling through here. Maybe you see something that you're now in terms of culture, like, and this is the cool thing about a Mediterranean cruise that maybe it exists in the Caribbean, but not to like this scale. Pasta making and lunch at a local farmhouse, like this is some Tucci, Stan Tucci stuff that you see on CNN. I watch these shows, I'm captivated, where he just goes in and is like immersed into the culture. $300. I mean, you're in the culture. There's the private transfer, private vehicle. Hopefully it comes with some bars of gold, but it looks like $2,000, $1,400. Let's hop into Viator real quick. I'm pretty sure you can do better than that by going here and saving a little bit of money. And we'll see if it pulls up. Here we go. And we are doing Rome. And when am I? I'm going to go, oops, and I'm going not on Christmas, June 3rd. All right, here we go. Apply. And Rome, private. No, let's do Rome transfers. There we go. See, $95. Transfer from Rome, $150. So you don't have to, you don't have to do too much. But if you need a Mercedes, that's $400. All right. So that's just you don't have to spend a cruise fortune to get private transfer. Just giving you some options there. All right, let's hop into it because there's more to do. So whatever you choose, I mean, I could probably spend the next hour talking about Rome. There's so much to do. Here's the cruise terminal. Your boats will line up here. Pay attention to the cruise communications that they'll give you. Most people transferring you to the cruise port here, they will, there's signage and more importantly, you'll see your ship. You'll see the princess ship. Don't run to the one that has the big whale tail on it. If it says MSC, don't go to that one. Just go to your princess ship, and you'll be okay there. Then, hey, you head right down the coast. Naples, Pompeii. This is why I'm excited about this itinerary. Spent so much time in Rome. I never made it down to Pompeii. I could have. It wasn't too much of a. There was actually an excursion from Rome. I could have bought $150. It would have been the day. There was finishing up Rome. You can go to Naples, and then they got like an excursion that takes you to Venice for the day. It's a long day. It's like leave at 6 a.m. goes to 9 p.m. So you can get Venice and Rome out of the way. But let's take a look at some of the excursions. I'm telling you, I want to go to Pompeii, but maybe you want to go to Capri. And here you go. Here's some of the prices. The Bourbonic Gallery pizza tasting, and I like pizza. And I will always enjoy it, but also gelato. I'm a big fan of the food and the culture and the wine tasting, and they got a lot of those options there. So a lot of the architecture you see in Rome also exists down in Pompeii, and guides in Habla Español, mozzarella cheese tasting. Not much of a mozzarella guy, but if that's you, more tunnels. So as we have Mount Vesuvius, I mean that is also something that is on our radar, something that we are talking about in committee right now as we weigh our excursion options. Hundreds. I mean, there's just hundreds of things to do, and this is another one of those places. If you spent a week here, I don't know if you would do everything, but the best of Pompeii will give you a small taste of everything. Naples by private driver, private vehicle, $1,000, 2,000. There's those cars. They're back. All right, so I'm telling you, I'm definitely going to Pompeii. I'm probably going to Mount Vesuvius, and whatever you do here is going to be fantastic. Now, in terms of free things, the cruise ports here, you could absolutely walk off this cruise port and not spend a cent on an excursion and just walk around. I mean, just look at all the landmarks that are close here. So if one of these landmarks is up your, unfortunately, I need to go a little further away to Pompeii, so I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of money. But if you just want to hang out in Naples and kind of taste around town, walk around, hang out in a sidewalk, you can absolutely do that. This is one of the ports that would let you. Otherwise, you end up in Mykonos. Cruise port's up here, and in terms of walking off and doing something for free, it doesn't this we're on this itinerary. It doesn't strike me as something for free. As a matter of fact, it looks like you'd have to walk down to this place. So the excursions that we are looking to do, so it doesn't strike me as a free excursion. We're either going to get a taxi, or we're beach people. We're normally Caribbean cruise people, except for our annual trip to Europe. We're probably either going to end up at a beach for a day, or take one of the city tours. And there's it's really, what do you want to do? That's what is there. It is right here, Best of Delos and Mykonos. So that is what we are looking at doing. But I'll show you the rest. Just so, you probably know your family better than I do. And some of these excursions via private vehicle, again, you're getting up to $1,000 to $2,000. I'll share a vehicle that cuts the cost down by 900%. That's absolutely what I will do. Otherwise, we're on to Istanbul. Oh man, this is this is it right here. I've been here a couple times. Never on a cruise. I've been here as a layover in the airport and had a taxi drive me around. And what a fascinating city. Excited to take my family here. Cruise terminals right here. Is there free things to do here? Yeah, I mean, you're in an urban area. You're in a pretty urban area, and I suppose you could take a taxi if you want to go to this palace. Otherwise, you could just take in the sweeping. I mean, the waterfront. There's a lot to do within range of the cruise port if you just want to save some money on an excursion. Otherwise, I want to go to the bazaar. I want to take my family to the bazaar, and I got a couple different options. There's a way there, and then you got City Walls and the Spice Bazaar there. Probably won't do that. The other thing is going to the mosque. The Easy Istanbul is another one that we are considering for $49. That's pretty reasonably priced. And there's the palace and the bazaar. And then there's the mosque and the bazaar. That's another. You just got to take it back to my committee. You can go on a breakfast cruise, off the beaten path. I want to stay on the beaten path for the first time. Best of Istanbul is actually what we are. It's strongly considered 8.5 hours, and it's. I always try to do the best when it's available, and that's probably what we're going to do if we don't do one of the ones mentioned above. And we'll just show you the rest here. Although the food experience, not this go around, but maybe some other time. And then the private vehicles are back. It's a little cheaper in Istanbul than some of the other ones. All right. And then your final stop is Santorini. This is kind of cool. If you ever watch any of the shows, there's like this little path here. So you'll dock here, and you'll go up this path. There's a little path here where you can be a donkey. Actually, you don't dock in this one. You're going to be boated in and then docked and walked up. So you're going to be anchored offshore, and then shuttle bus in. And there's like a mule ride you can go up, and then you're up into the city. I suppose you can walk it, but it's a pretty healthy walk. Or you can take the cable car. There's actually a cable car that you can go on up. And then there's a place up here you can get pictures, and it is fascinating. Cable car is what we will do, although I'm not much of a mule rider. Actually, I'm not much of a horse rider either. Otherwise, here you go. Ta-da! You've probably seen it in commercials. You've probably seen it in postcards, maybe in books. The blue roof buildings. This is it. And we are looking at the highlights tour ourselves. and going to get this, So it's not necessarily a free, but definitely something we're looking at. I don't think we'll do the best of Santorini this time. I just want to go up and take the tour. And private vehicles are back. There they are, $1,000, $3,000. So if you're more of a private vehicle person, you are in luck. They got you there. But otherwise, I think we're looking at the hidden villages, and I think that's what we'll do. So hopefully you saw something there you're looking forward to. And then the ride terminates in Athens over at the cruise terminal, A, C, or B, wherever you dock is where you dock. And this is the same pickle as in Rome. You're going to be you're going to you're going to be in a place where you can spend weeks and try to do much. I recommend. I mean, you can. Actually, there are excursions that you can take that'll take you to the airport via bus and a tour. So cruise terminals here, Athens is here, and the airport's over here. That's this. And again, this was one of my layover stops. It's about an hour to the city, to the Acropolis, and that's kind of what I did. Spent a little bit of time in the city. It goes by fast. There's so much to see, so much history. So this will show you some of the excursion options that are available, and you can either do just a running glance on your way to the airport or check into a hotel, whatever you want to do. But yeah, you got the city of. I mean, it's but name something you want to do, and it will be spectacular. A Greek evening experience. Uh, that's Oompa, that looks like a lot of fun. Discover family, rock and roll. I don't know if I would do that, but a taste of Athens is definitely something we are going to look at. I think we're probably won't do an excursion here. We'll check into a hotel, and it all comes down to the airfare back. And like I said, it's cool being Rome and Athens. I have that flexibility. It's not wasted time. If I need to spend a couple more days in Rome and a couple more days in Athens to save $700 a person in airfare, then that's what I'm going to do. From the United States, check out flights from Boston to Boston and New York area to Rome. Google Flights, and you will see that it is typically cheaper than any other place in the country, and cheaper by certainly from Atlanta, certainly thousands of dollars cheaper. Best of Athens, there it is right there. That's if we that's probably the excursion we'll do, 7 hours, and then you got the debark best of Athens. This is what we will likely do, and because they hold your luggage for you, and that that is what to do. This is for passengers with late flights after 6:30 p.m. and warns you about the level of stress involved. But otherwise, I mean, that's it. Rome to Athens and everything in between. A fantastic cruise. I hope you found something that you look to do. You're a little bit more oriented to the location, and I will see you in the next video.